fans of high-quality entertainment? That's not Jinx, that's Mittens. That's my other cat. I have 2 cats. Here she is. Today I'm ranking and reviewing the final Velvet Underground album, at least with Lou Reed. I know there was another one called Squeeze, but it's, as I keep saying, it was basically a Doug Yule solo album, so I'm not ranking or reviewing that. Loaded is the 4th studio album by American rock band The Velvet Underground, released in November 1970. Despite having a number of singles originate from it, the album itself failed to chart. It was the final album recorded featuring founding member and main songwriter Lou Reed, who left shortly before its release. Other founding members, Sterling Morrison and Maureen Tucker, would leave in 1971. For this reason, it is often considered by fans to be the last Velvet Underground album. It has retrospectively gained positive reception. Loaded was ranked number 110 in 2012 and later ranked number 242 in 2020 on Rolling Stone's list of the 500 greatest albums of all time. Who cares about Rolling Stone? If you love an album and you feel it's in the top 50, then it's in the top 50. You don't need Rolling Stone telling you. And one other thing I learned while looking into the information on this album is, even though Maureen Tucker is credited for playing drums on this album, she was pregnant and she did not, supposedly, she did not appear on the studio album. She did, on the session outtake, she sings I'm Sticking With You, and I believe she's on Ocean and maybe a couple of other songs, but on the original album, they have mainly session drummers playing. I bet you didn't know that. The album cover, once again, I understand the Velvet Underground, and it's like a subway. It's going down those steps, and there's this kind of a smoke thing, but it's not a very good album cover to me. I would give it a C. The production, once again, A+. The production is great. Sound quality. When I talk about production, of course I mean the way instruments are placed and the vocals and everything, but also the sound of the record, if it's high quality entertainment or not. And it is on this, A+. 3 best songs are Sweet Jane, Rock and Roll, and New Age. My least favorite song, and I still absolutely love it, is Lonesome Cowboy Bill. So I think I bought this finally, I don't know, maybe 2 years ago, 3 years ago, and I'd always known about Rock and Roll and Sweet Jane, and I love those songs. But for some reason, I don't know, it's like I was I didn't want to listen to the album because I was thinking that nothing's going to compare to those 2 great songs. I'm going to end up disappointed and not liking the album. So I never really listened to it for months and months and months. And then I finally did, maybe like a year ago or so, I finally started getting into it. Oh, I got into it. Who Loves the Sun has got to be one of the most, I guess they call it sunshine pop. It's just, bright and happy, your typical late 60s, early 70s, upbeat, happy music. And I think that's the ultimate sunshine pop song. It's just beautiful. Sweet Jane, of course, everybody seems to love that. Loves the Velvet Underground and Lou Reed, and I've always loved it. But I feel that Rock and Roll, as great as Sweet Jane is even better. And I think, even though Lou Reed isn't one of the greatest singers, but on this track, he just kills it on the vocals, especially near the end. It almost sounds like his vocals are leaving his body. He's just, you can just feel the passion and how into the music he is. What a great artist, just like me. Cool It Down is such a cool song. I love it, love it, love it. And then New Age. Oh my God, this is why I'm saying Doug Yule is a very underrated member of the Velvet Underground. So we would flip over the vinyl record, and the first song would be Head Held High. And once again, killer vocals by Lou Reed. Lonesome Cowboy Bill is a fun, upbeat, lighthearted song, and I really love it. I Found a Reason, gorgeous, gorgeous vocals by Lou Reed and Doug Yule. The way their vocals blend, it's kind of like Jesus on the Velvet Underground album. And I love the line in it that Lou Reed, walking hand in hand with myself. I always get a chuckle out of that one. Train Round the Bend it's like, it feels like a train song. It's weird. You know, it's like, and it's going down the tracks. The music really fits the title of the song. And then this ends with Oh Sweet Nothing. Once again, great vocals by Doug Yule and some killer guitar work at the end, really stretching it out over 7 minutes. And so you might be able to tell that I absolutely love this album. It's one of my favorite albums of all time. And I used to think White Light, White Heat was the best Velvet Underground album. And it's, you know, sometimes these rankings gets a little silly. It's like, why can't you love both albums the same? Because I kind of do. But it's just fun, it's entertaining to, if you had to rank them, what you would rank them as. And so, Loaded is a definite A+. And this might shock some people, but for me, it's #1 in the rankings. Yes, I love it more than the Velvet Underground and Nico and White Light, White Heat, which both have A+ ratings. I don't know how many other Velvet Underground fans would place this at #1, but I know that some would, and I'm one of them. It's just, you know, if I had all 4 of those albums and I could only take one with me for a week or go into jail for a year, I would take Loaded because it's loaded with great songs. And it's more upbeat, overall it's a happier album. And, you know, sometimes, like if you were in jail for a year with the Velvet Underground, with any of them, any of the others, you'd end up probably kind of depressed. And this is a more upbeat, happy album, and it really shows through with the vocals and the music and everything. They just did a great job on this, and I'm glad that it's getting the recognition the last few years that it didn't get when it was released. Although, you know, Rock and Roll and Sweet Jane were played on the radio at least, but this wasn't a big seller, the album itself. So that ends my series on the Velvet Underground. I'm going to cry now. And next up, I'm going to take a bit of a break with the ranking and review. And then next up, I was planning this before the sad passing of Dusty Hill. But I'm going to be ranking and reviewing ZZ Top, but only their first, I think it's their first 10 albums. And I'm going to include the live album because half of the live album are studio tracks. So I usually don't include live albums in my rankings, but this time I'll make an exception. So it's all of their albums up to, I believe, Recycler. And I actually played some ZZ Top last night, their early albums, which I'm not as familiar with, and it's going to be a good series. I'm really looking forward to it. So that's it. I hope everybody has a great day, and I would love your thoughts on Loaded in the comments section below. Thank you. Have a great day.